Anissa Coy here with Firehouse Education and this week's Ask Anissa video column. And this week, our question came in from Cheryl, and Cheryl is with AAA Standard Services out of Toledo, Ohio. So thank you so much for the question, Cheryl. So here's what Cheryl's email says. Hi, Anissa. I enjoy watching your video and learning from you. I started doing pack outs when COVID started because I was hired as the account executive marketer. That's interesting. Training has been, here you go. Because prior contents personnel haven't stayed or we determined it wasn't working. How do you complete a pack out and make sure that items do not get damaged? Just seems no matter how much bubble I use, something always gets damaged. It is very discouraging. Any pointers would be great and helpful. Thank you, Cheryl. Well, Cheryl, thank you very much for that question. And this is probably it's one of the biggest complaints that I get from business owners, that they're really frustrated and upset and tired of writing checks back to people for damages. And I want to tell you something. I rarely, if ever, have damages. Like, I can probably count on one hand how many times in my career that I have had items broken due to the way they were packed. Now, I know it's a big claim, but it's true. And I believe the reason is because of a few things that I want to share with you right now. Number one, I am extremely particular with how an item goes in a box, meaning, my plates, how are they sitting? Are they upright? Are they flat? My bowls, are they on edge? And what items are going in that same box? Like, is there metal in the box? Is there glass? Are there books? I mean, we wouldn't put those items together anyway because we want to pack light cleaning method. But what about for damages? So I always pack everything in mind of, can I take this box and ship it across the country? And would I be worried about the contents inside? Okay. That's another reason, by the way, that I don't charge by the box when I clean. And I know that's going to make some people go, what? I don't. I do not charge by the box when I clean, because if I feel like that box only needs to be half full to protect the items inside of it, I don't want an adjuster getting all up in my business and getting upset because I'm charging by the box and this box has only got this many items in it and it's got a lot of paper. That's the other thing, by the way. I use a lot of packing paper and I've got systems in place. Like, every box gets 2 crumple sheets on the bottom. Some get 3. I use a lot of things like do not stack stickers and fragile stickers. And I have a policy of 1, 2, or 3 fragile stickers. And what does it mean if it has 1 fragile sticker or 2 or 3? Every box also gets transported as if it has something fragile and precious in it, right? So some of this comes from your team and your company culture and your training with your staff. And are you giving them the proper equipment, i.e. appliance dollies and dollies to carry heavy boxes and things like that? Okay. So if you could put all the amount of bubble wrap you want in a box, but if your team is like tossing boxes or packing them in the vault or truck and stacking heavy things on top of them and there's glass in it and they don't know it because there's not a fragile sticker on it, well, then is it really their fault that things are getting broken? And maybe they are going to get broken because of that, right? So what I'm kind of hearing and sensing here, Cheryl, is that we've got a little bit of lack of systems in place and training when it comes to this pack out. All right. And it's not just using like bubble wrap. I mean, that's very important. Don't get me wrong. But does your team know how to wrap bubble wrap? There's actually a way to wrap an item correctly with bubble wrap. Are they using the right size small bubble wrap versus the large big bubbles? The large big bubbles don't work so well. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of idiosyncrasies and little particular things in there that I need to make sure are going in place, and you need to make sure are in place in your company. The fact that, is your team, again, with the proper equipment so they're not getting tired after 5 or 6 hours of moving boxes and furniture out of a house? Are they getting sloppy because they're tired or their back's hurting? Do we have the right people out there doing the packing to begin with that are detailed and organized, that sort of thing? So, pack out is probably one of the most important pieces of a contents job to begin with, because it's really the start of the job. That's where we set the whole tone. So you've got to have the right systems. You've got to have the right people doing the job. Make sure that they have the right training and tools and equipment to do it right. because this is where it all starts, right? Like it's only going to go downhill from here. So we want to make sure we're way great when we're doing our pack out, because if we start out way down here, then we're gonna have a huge climb and fight on our hands to try to, have a great experience for our client. And it's interesting because what winds up happening is companies will often, I see, just throw bodies. Oh, Jesse's a big guy and Jake doesn't have anything to do today, so let's throw them over here doing this pack out and moving these boxes. When really we've got to make sure that we have trained people, again, with the right equipment out there doing the jobs. And I'm happy to hear that you use lots of bubble wrap, because I'm a fan for sure, but it's not just about the bubble wrap. Okay, there's a lot of other pieces involved. In fact, there's a huge need for this in the industry as far as, proper pack out training. And I'm looking to put together a class, and I'm looking to do it virtual as well as hands-on. So I'd kind of like to take a poll. Any of you out there that would love to come to either a virtual or a hands-on pack out class for proper techniques and procedures and equipment and systems, like all complete, let me know. I'm looking at a couple of days and maybe even traveling, doing one East Coast, mid-country, and then on the West Coast as well. So let me know if that is something you'd be interested in by sending me an email, anisa@firehouseeducation.com, or comment maybe below the video here, in the magazine, or as well as on my YouTube channel. Okay. All right, Cheryl. Well, I hope that helped you. And I hope that those of you who are watching the video and that are having struggles maybe with your pack out got some value there. Again, Cheryl, I would love to see you and maybe some of your team in my pack out class. Again, just shoot me an email and I will get you guys some dates and all set up. I'm probably looking at doing that. I'm thinking in January, as I'm going to be gone all of December in Australia doing some buyer content training. All right. Well, thank you so much for your email, Cheryl. You're awesome. Thanks for being in this wonderful industry. And thank you all for watching my video. Please be sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, as well as our blog on firehouseeducation.com for free training. And of course, to rnrmagonline.com, e-newsletter, as well as their digital magazine. And don't forget, send me your questions, anisa@firehouseeducation.com. And I just might feature you on next week's Ask Anisa video column. Thank you.